It is about 5:30 in the morning and I'm still trying to get my walks in the morning, which is going to be more difficult as more of these travel days come into play, but I am doing my best to make the most of what time I have available. The time change is definitely interesting. I got to bed around 1 a.m. Eastern time, and then I woke up 5 a.m. Eastern time. So we'll see if my body hates me later, but so far I'm doing all right. After we're all ready to go, we'll get on a shuttle, head to the airport, and get on this flight. The hotel that we're staying at is right off the road by the airport. The airport's literally on that side, so it's not very quiet at all. Nothing really slows down. One of the features I really like about this microphone is the ability to push a button and have noise reduction automatically applied to the clip. Having just walked down that really busy road, cars everywhere, non-stop, I'm pretty happy with how it sounded. Could have been a whole lot worse if it wasn't on. We will test this gear later on in this series. I am all checked in, ready for my international flight. Super excited to be able to go on this new adventure, and I'm really excited to be able to go to a country that I've never been to before. I'm very thankful that I have my mom here to travel with us because she speaks the language, she knows the culture a whole lot better than I do, so I can easily just observe what's going on and absorb the culture and learn. If you can't tell, I am in Miami. I decided to document my trip on this water bottle. So I left from Portland, flew to Denver, and now we're here in Miami. And my next sticker, my next flight, is actually one of these airlines sitting behind me. But I'm not going to tell you which one until we are at that final destination. So you're still going to have to stay tuned. So one more thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that I'm not actually traveling by myself. Well, yes, I'm traveling with my family, but I have with me Mr. Giraffe. Now, Mr. Giraffe has a long history for me and my family. He actually went on a 6-day bike trip through the Puget Sound with my dad and some of our Boy Scout friends. And I took photos of Mr. Giraffe in tons of different locations all over the Puget Sound, and I sent them to Emma, who was like 2 or 3 at the time. And then at the very end, we actually made a book, a very special book of Mr. Giraffe's adventures. So his adventures do continue in this trip, and I'm super excited that he gets to join me. So welcome Mr. Giraffe to the series. International travel is its own beast entirely. The airline we were scheduled to travel on had an online check-in option, and every time we tried, we would get an error. My family ended up waiting on hold for up to half an hour just to talk to someone. So I decided to leave early, take the shuttle to the airport, and check in good old-fashioned style. Honestly though, it took me 10 minutes total to do that. Once I was through security, I waited for the rest of my family to make it through. Walking to my gate now, working on finding a currency exchange. I saw one, but they're on break for like half an hour, so should be a few more around here. See if I can find one. I'm walking down a different terminal since the currency exchange I saw was closed. Decided to skip the currency exchange, so I'll just get it in my next country. The currency exchange opens about 10 minutes before the flight is supposed to start boarding. So I really don't want to be waiting around for them to take their pretty time, because I don't know how long it'll take for the exchange. So let's get on the plane. I'm gonna go ahead and put the microphone away. Let's jump over to voiceover and talk about the flight. I'm on the big flight, heading to another country, heading to another continent. It's gonna be good. I consider myself a pretty well-seasoned traveler, but not when it comes to international. Those flights are huge, many people on board those planes, and they take forever, flight time speaking. But wow, the views I saw out the window were incredible. Starting it all off was the Florida Keys. And then we glided over Cuba. Then I saw the northern coast of Venezuela, and finally, the freaking Amazon River. If you're wondering why the colors are this way, the Boeing Dreamliner doesn't have window shades. Instead, their windows darken to this dark blue and tint out almost completely. It was a wild experience. All right, we need to talk about going through immigration in a different country. The biggest thing that I can say is you need to research beforehand. You need to check information, you need to verify on official websites, and honestly, that's all you can do, because when you get to a place like here, we thought we had it figured out, and the process was so much different than what we expected. First off, when the plane landed, we had to actually get off the plane, take a shuttle to the main airport, and then wait in this line that took forever. I think we were waiting in line for like an hour and a half. The line just seemed to move just snail's pace. We were able to all check in as a group, which was nice because I don't speak Portuguese fluently, just little words here and there. Hopefully I'll be able to increase my competency on Portuguese while we're here. After we made it through immigration, we finally found our bags in the massive international baggage area. Honestly, the information we were getting from the airlines really conflicted to what our experience was. I'm not sure exactly how this experience was supposed to go. There was apparently an app that you had to use to declare what items you're bringing in. So we got through immigration and we're like, okay, where's this form we need to fill out? In the past, you filled out a paper form declaring nothing or whatever you were bringing in. Everyone kept saying, oh no, don't worry about it, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it, you'll be fine. And we're like, that's not very reassuring. Honestly, we ended up picking up our bags and there were two lines for customs. One said no declaration, and one said declaration. And so we grabbed our bags and walked down the no declaration line. The only thing they asked us to do was take our hats off. I think it was probably for some security photo thing or whatever. We just kept walking, and then honestly, we were tired, we were hungry, and we just wanted to get to the hotel so we can get some sleep. That's where the adventure actually began. As soon as we exit customs, we were in like this mall. I mean, it was perfumes and all the duty-free type stuff was just everywhere. And we're like, okay, we just want to exit. Like, where's the exit? We've entered a shopping mall. We finally got out. We ended up at Terminal 3 in Sao Paulo International Airport. This is where we ran into our first problem. Once we got into the terminal, we're in Terminal 3. The information we had is saying that we needed to go to Terminal 2 to catch the hotel shuttles. Now, the hotel shuttle was interesting to get to. There was no actual bus that took us to the next terminal, and we realized that we had to go back into the airport and then saw a sign for Terminal 2, which had like a rabbit trail type thing on the ground saying Terminal 2. So we just kept following that line and walked forever until we got to Terminal 2. We finally found where all the shuttles were, thankfully. We got there just as the shuttle showed up, and it was bum rushed by a ton of people who were wanting to go to this hotel. We barely missed it. we were trying to talk to the driver and say how long before the next one, and he was like 1 to 2 hours. So we're like, so we got to sit here for 2 hours. It made it sound like this hotel was an hour away from the airport. Turns out it wasn't, but lost in translation thing. So we ended up trying to get a taxi, but you have to get checked in at a booth and then get in line. We got checked in. You didn't have to pay anything, which was nice. We were like, okay, well, just get in this line. And that line looked like it would have taken 3 hours to wait for a taxi. We're like, yeah, we're not doing that. You can wait 2 hours for this hotel bus. I ended up going inside because I needed to get my money exchanged. Finally got it exchanged inside the airport. I went and got a quick bite to eat. By the time I got my food and got back to where everyone was yelling at me, "Gar, gar, gar," I realized the shuttle had just arrived. So I just ran across the roadway, got to the shuttle just in time. We were like, we're tired, we're done with this. People were trying to get on, and we were like, you know what? We were here first in line. We all shoved ourselves into the van, and here we are. What a way to end day 2 of this adventure. Hope you guys have enjoyed this series so far. I am here in Brazil for 2.5 weeks, and I'm excited to share what we're going to be doing. So let's get this adventure started.